Hello, everybody. With storms kind of popping up here and there now, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning for storm working into Grundy County up here. I went ahead and started up the live. How's it going, Damien? Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in. I will be leaving this up throughout the evening. I'm going to pop in and out as we see storms that we need to discuss. But this way, you'll be able to kind of keep an eye on the radar, something a little bit more real time. I know a lot of y'all are starting to watch more, watch the radar more, and less notifications from apps and things like that. So, yeah, we've got a little section of the south end of a storm is going to graze across Grundy County over here. I'm going to go ahead and show that animated. So, the original section of the storm is going to stay right across the top, but we're getting a little bit of an extension down here. It's definitely going to be stormy. You've got a second one working in, so Beersheba Springs and north area of Altamont got some storms working their way in. Just some 60-mile-per-hour gusts associated with this storm, a little bit of lightning. We do have some other storms that have been popping up north end of Hamilton County, and we just got a severe thunderstorm warning extended for that storm working its way through Grundy County over here. Also up here, just past McMinnville, Spring Creek, Irving College. You're getting that storm, and it has pushed further down. It's got the warning skimming the northern half of Dunlap and heading into Palo, Lusk, and then pushing into the northern side of Hamilton County. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Back to the other little pop-up storms. We've got a stronger but not severe storm also running across the north end of Polk County. We have a storm kind of relaxing that's just past Dayton, making its way into Ray County out of Meigs County right now. And then down in Georgia, a couple of little small storms around Resaca, Chatsworth, and down around Rome. So yeah, let's see how many people we have in here now. We got some more. We got about 54 people in here right now on Facebook, and a couple of people down here in YouTube. Let's see, 7 viewers on YouTube. If y'all don't know, I do cross stream over to YouTube as well. I know a lot of people like YouTube because you can take it and you've got the apps available on TVs. You can pull it up on your TV, you can pull it up on your phone, you can pull it up on your computer. It's a lot easier to work with than Facebook, and I'm still exploring ways to not be as dependent on Facebook. If you want to go check it out on YouTube, it's going to be the exact same as Facebook, Ingle Weather Service. So I expect some people to jump in with that new severe thunderstorm warning extending into, over here around Hamilton County, Dunlap, Lusk, Palo, New Harmony, Dill. And this storm is still showing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And it says that we have a report of 1.5 inch hail just north of Spring Creek. So we see this, here I'll stop it. We see this darker section of the storm north of Spring Creek. We've got a little bit of hail associated with that, and that's going to be making its way towards Curtistown. All right. I bet it's hot in Florida It's been hot up in Tennessee lately. But with these storms coming through tonight, they're coming through from a cold front, and we're going to get some relief from this intense heat. My youngest, Clyde, he just had a doubleheader football game on Saturday, right in the middle of the day, right in the middle of the crazy heat. We got some people down here on YouTube piping in. Nathaniel's asking if it's going to storm bad. We are going to have some stronger thunderstorms this evening, scattered throughout the entire area. I've got the timing up in a text post. So check out that timing, but also I'm going to be covering here likely all evening. This may end up being the longest stream that I do or have done. Mainly because we're going to have things scattered and then start to get more organized, and we're going to have things go through periodically. 1 second, I'm taking a look on here so I can post. There we go, got the live up on the featured section on the group. If you do not know, whenever you pull up Ingle Weather Service on Facebook, if you go near the top, you can pull up the featured section. I always have the most recent postings up on the featured section, so that way it makes it a little bit easier to figure out what's been posted most recently. I do always put a date and time tag in there as well, so that way you can kind of keep an eye, but featured should be the things that are most recently posted. What time's supposed to come to Ottawa? Ulua. Yeah. I should just go ahead and say that I cover weather in Ottawa, Canada too, because we know that we love that autocorrect. So here, let me go ahead and pull up a model, and we'll take a look at kind of what we're looking at. Right now, we seem to be lining up pretty closely to the NAM 3 km model. So let's see, that's for earlier today, that's for 3 p.m. This is 4 p.m. We're running actually a little bit behind on timing from this model run just came out. It's actually not finished loading yet, but it'll give us an idea to what we're looking at. On the bright side, we are seeing much lighter storm development. I did not really expect to see that. Let's go back to the HRRR. It was actually a little bit more. So 4 p.m. Yeah, we're lining up pretty close with the HRRR model, so we'll keep an eye on that one more. We are seeing less storm development for tonight, so that's good. We are still seeing some storm roll through Cleveland, Ocoee, Benton. Looking at the radar, though, I might be a little skeptical on what that's saying, because we are seeing a little bit. We're almost seeing just above what the HRRR is talking about. So to sit here and figure this out, and this is all kind of connected to the Ottawa question. We're moving about 22 miles per hour with that storm. 32 with that storm. Let's see. We'll go off the more solid. All right, so 32 miles per hour. And do some calculation here. We'll say our line's moving right along here, kind of this direction. Let's zoom in so we can get sometimes I don't like the way that this works. Collegedale, Harrison, So we're looking at probably around just a little bit before 5 p.m. No rotation really with any of this. How's it going, Danica? If y'all were on my last live stream, I noticed near the end, person that I've seen in the group a decent amount before, Danica Ritchie, is actually related to a guy that I grew up with and I've been lifelong friends with. So. You were asking about rotation, so let's take a quick look. So I'm not seeing anything really organized. We're seeing some division right here, but it's around an area we do see that kind of naturally work in. We're starting to see the storm interact with going off of the plateau. We're going to get some destabilization in there, some winds going in some wacky directions, but I'm not seeing anything organized or worrisome. We don't have a tornado threat tonight. I'll just say that outright. How's it going, Jade? Jade's an old friend, too. Oh, I'm in need of some caffeine today. So again, I'm going to leave the radar up. Even if we don't have too much going on, I'm going to leave the radar up throughout the night. So that way you can kind of check in and peep in, jump out, handle the kids, do dinner, jump back in if it sounds stormy, and you'll know what's going on. And I'll be kind of jumping in and out as well. And especially for the next hour, I'll be around with this severe thunderstorm warning making its way through. All right. It is funny how I know a lot of you have heard a lot of conversation about the jet stream and the El Nino, and it's a crazy El Nino this year, things like that. Yeah, we do have a record strong El Nino coming through, or being developed in the Pacific. It's not really something that comes through. However, the questions that people really want to know, or the answers they want to know, are things like, what does that mean for this area? What are we going to see? And I will say this, we are definitely going to see things like frequent rain. We're going to see a lot of changes in temperature. So it's going to get warm and cold and warm and cold as we go through the wintertime. For us to get things like snow, we have to have that moisture and that one of those cold air blasts kind of line up, and it's hard for our area, especially areas around Hamilton County and Bradley County, and some areas just across the line in Georgia. A lot of that is because of the landscape to our east. I'm sorry, to our west. The way the land interacts with the clouds and the way the temperatures interact inside the clouds, things like that, it makes it hard for us to get snow sometimes. But I will say that looking out towards the winter, I think we've got a pretty good chance at some snow. Backtracking a little bit to the fall, I think we are going to have a fairly stormy fall. So, Kayla's asking, needed to dump on Bradley so they can cancel a baseball game. Well, depending on what time the game is, Kayla, I'd say you may have a 50-50 shot of that happening. I am seeing in some runs and some things a little bit more development towards Bradley County around 5 o'clock, and then again around 8 p.m. So I'd say you have a chance. Oh, it is hot. I said my oldest Clyde, he had a not one but two football games on Saturday, right in the middle of the afternoon. It was very, very hot. I actually had a person send me a message yesterday asking about some baseball practice. Yeah, it's hot out there. Depending on how much your kid plays outside and kind of gets acclimated to the heat, you know, it's a better thing. I'm always going to be a person that is very pro kids need to go outside and play. And you need to kick your kids outside to go and play. Uh, I grew up in with playing outside, and I know a lot of y'all did, and it's our responsibility to give that back to our kids so they get the same skills that we learned. When playing outside in this heat, it's a little different. You know, if you're going to do it, especially with baseball, things like that, extra water breaks are definitely needed. Uh, Things as simple as taking a towel, wetting it, putting it in the freezer, and then keep it in a plastic bag or something like that. And whenever they take a break, take it out and just put it on their neck. It cools that blood running in and out of the brain, and it helps regulate that body temperature a little bit. Also, if you don't have something like that and you need to cool somebody down quickly, your wrist right here, it's got really good exposure for your blood to cool down. So cool water just from a sink on the wrists does quite a bit. I used to do that back in the day when we didn't have air conditioning at Dockside Cafe in the kitchen. And we'd hit 115, 120 degrees back there in that kitchen and just keep rocking and rolling. Kim is asking if there's anything to worry about in Bradley County. Nothing right now. I'd say probably around 5:30 is when I'm looking at Bradley County, really starting to see more storms develop, but maybe a little bit earlier. Down here on YouTube, got a question: what app am I using? So, what I'm using right now is Radar Omega. It is visually appealing, fairly easy to work through, and I don't have a lot of bugs with it. So, if you've been around for a long time, you will know I do change what I use. I'm always kind of looking, trying out different pieces of software. I want to make sure that I'm giving you the best that I can. But right now, it's still Radar Omega. We do have some complications here and there, but and Eddie's telling Kayla she needs to suck it up, Buttercup. Oh, Eddie Reeves, he's a good guy. Known him for a long time. So still early. Not too much going on. We've got this storm kind of stretching out. We can pull up the severe thunderstorm warning itself and take a look at it. So, like I said, it's stretched through Ray County, Sequatchie, Bledsoe, and Hamilton. We've got kind of a preemptive severe thunderstorm warning. Most of this area is not being impacted yet. The strongest portion of the storm is going to be right here around Old Cumberland. And that was that section where we saw some reports of 1.5 inch hail a little bit ago. It kind of continued on. We had one report northwest of Spring Creek, and then another report right here around Hills Mountain. Let's see, Old State Highway 111 near, I'm trying to read it, Bud Boyd Road. Wow, that's a fun road to say. Bud Boyd Road. So yeah, right there near Dead Zero Shooting Park. Hey Jenny, how's it going? I had a pretty good birthday. You know, birthdays are different as you get older, uh, but it was pretty good. We went to Community Pie and got some pizza with the family. I like Community Pie. It's a pretty nice place. Uh, Pretty laid back. You can feed the family with some higher quality pizza for a pretty good price. By the way, not sponsored by Community Pie. That's a place that we frequent because it's expensive to feed kids these days, and we can do it there pretty decently and easily. Oh, actually, while I'm talking about places I've been to lately, and again, not a paid sponsorship, I have become a big fan of White Oak Coffee Bar on Apison Pike. Um, I went in there when they opened up. They had kind of a soft opening. I went in, tried some coffee, and ended up talking to the owners there, Nick and Kirsten, and they are wonderful people. I enjoy going in there and talking to them just as much as I enjoy their coffee. And I also like to support people locally who are trying to go the distance, do a good job, have a good product. And so, uh, really happy with something great in the community that I live in, like them in the area. Jenny, it's in Apison Pike, just off I-75, kind of around Volkswagen area, kind of between I-75 and Collegedale. See, I just moved and forgot to make sure you cover my area before. Chatsworth, Georgia. Yeah, Chatsworth. I cover you. That's actually the last county that I cover off towards the east in Georgia, northeast. So, Madison, I still got you. Here, Jenny, I will text you that place now. I could use some caffeine right now. I'm going to mute for a second. I got a call coming in.